Well, hello there, you beautiful, beautiful people. I hope you're well on this wonderful Wednesday. Wonderful Wednesday! That's it, baby. The midweek hump is upon us already, and this week is flying. That's amazing. Like you. You are amazing. You look amazing. And this week, currently, is going at quite an amazing... It is Wednesday, isn't it? Is it Wednesday? Now I'm doubting myself. No, it is. I just looked. Wednesday, the 4th of October. And we are heading over for video 1, because this is video 1 of 2. So you know what to do. Well, at the moment, is just watch this. Later on, there'll be another one, and we'll be talking about cowboys in the Idaho case. But at the moment, we're talking about Delphi, Richard Allen, because this case... Oh, my word. So, look, this is one of these cases. This is one of these situations where you get people, when you're talking about the potential for law enforcement perhaps not operating in a manner with which they should, and perhaps confirmation bias or trying to seal the deal on something that's been long overdue, or because there's pressure, so on and so forth, and it might not be the right outcome, it might not be the right person. And people lose their minds. You talk about this and people lose their mind. But Delphi, if what is happening in the Delphi situation is true and just, and every day there's more stuff that comes out that kind of points in the direction that Richard Allen is very likely not the person who did it. And there's been people who have doubted this all the way from the beginning, despite the fact that he has apparently said, look, I'm the one who done it. But it has been argued that when you look at the state of the guy and what he's obviously gone through, there's a good chance that that could have been coerced, or he's just thought, you know what, I just want this over. Just want this over. If I say I did it, it's a done deal. But what's going on now is, if you listen to the Delphi case, you'll know the situation, and that is that they're kind of saying that there was this odinism link. This was a cult killing, and it was hidden. There's been some very weird stuff happening all around it. I did a video not so long ago. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it. I'm not going to tell you what's in it, because that would be counterproductive to the algorithm. So yeah, go find it. It's a thumbnail with Richard Allen in it, and it's interesting. But look, it would appear that some of this information was due to they sort of boo-pooed this cult situation, because they say they got this specialist in. They got this specialist in, and the specialist turned around and said, look, I'm a specialist, and because I'm a specialist, I know that is nothing to do with cult. That's nothing to do with odinism, blah, 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 blah. And this bloke then vanishes off the face of the planet. So he's now been found. And not only has he been found, but it would appear that what law enforcement said he said is not entirely true, because it would say that he actually did say that it was a potential that it was a reproduction or an attempt at a reproduction of another cult ritual. And he'd even gone as far as speaking to somebody else who was another specialist, and they had agreed that that's what this was, and the police buried it. The police buried it, much like they're going to try and bury Richard Allen. And it's up to us, the tinfoil hat people, the people who always want to look into things and are not willing to accept things at face value, to make sure that the eyes are on everybody and this is dealt with properly. And Abby and Libby get the justice which they deserve, and not just some patsy who is pushed before everybody and said, we've got you, guy, we've got it all, and this is done and dusted. Believe us, trust us, we are not liars. And, you know, and we see the same in the Idaho 4 case, because we're willing to sort of peek round the curtain, so to speak, we're the people in the wrong. But look, what if nobody peeked round the curtain in the Delphi case? Are you saying that that would be right? Are you saying that that would be just, and just the fact that somebody paid makes it all better, makes it all go away? And we've got another situation here where this is going to sound familiar, because what they're basically saying is the attorneys for Richard Allen in the Delphi defence are basically saying, look, we're now tired of the prosecution drip feeding us evidence against our client. Now, we want to know what you've got. We want to know, we want everything, and the judge has got to give a deadline as to when they've got to give us it. What does that sound? Does that sound familiar to you? So you've got a case that, from a court perspective, from a how the prosecution is behaving perspective, That sounds very much like our case over in Moscow, Idaho. And off the back end of that, we've got a guy who could potentially be innocent. And in Richard Allen, I mean. So look, now you have to make a decision now, some of you, because you've got to make a decision on, do you just feel this Richard Allen situation has just been perpetuated by the defence, has been, you know, conjured up to try and throw doubt, and the guy is the right guy. He's the guy who did it. He is the guy, he's guilty as charged, throw away the man, throw away his key, whatever, and be done with it? Or is there something else we need to look at? And if you are someone who was on the fence, or you've gone from guilty, you now think that there's a potential that he could be innocent, do you not now see the importance in keeping your foot on the necks of those in charge, and making sure that you don't take everything at face value? There is an importance in it, there is a value in it, because justice, true justice, is about the right people being held accountable for crimes, not just a person or people just to satisfy an urge to see retribution. And that's why we do what we do. And sometimes that's uncomfortable, sometimes that's unpalatable, but it is something that needs to happen. If it doesn't happen, then we are going to go into the future seeing more and more innocent people being used as patsies to satisfy that need for somebody to pay for a crime at the cheapest way possible. Because that's, make no bones about it, that's what a lot of this is about. This is about funding. This is about prosecutions and investigations cost money, and people don't want to spend that money. And if they find a way that they can make something go away quicker, then the likelihood is they're going to do it. And some of the statistics, especially in the United States and being such a large place, and when you see that there's so many sort of serial killers who they class as, oh, an inactive serial killer, and how many, these are scary numbers. These are scary, scary numbers. But where are these people born from? These are people are born from where there has been a murder and there has been a conviction, and someone has been thrown in the can for something that someone else done, and then this person has to then lie dormant for a while, not to then raise suspicion on them. That's where some of them will be born from. That's my critical mind. But let me know down below what you think. What's going on in the Delphi case? Is this guy getting closer and closer every day to walking? And if that's the case, then the scary thing is there's some really, really evil, dangerous people out there, and they're going to strike again soon. I'll catch you all in the next one.